Yo guys, what's up? It's Inflexxius. Today we're playing Jax into Kennen top, and the game is starting out interesting with our Thresh DCing right there, so he gives first blood over to Ezreal. We're invading top side with the Gwen here. I want to loop around into the other bush here to see if maybe I can catch the Zinza, but then Kennen spots me out. At this point gets found out by the Zinza, so I lure them closer to my Gwen. Use my E. Zinza flashes the stun. And Nautilus is topside, so now we are 3v4, so we cannot win this fight, so it's immediate full disengage angle. Unfortunately, our Gwen does go down here. So, usually what I like to do versus Kennen is start Q, and then use Grasp to take short trades onto him and leverage the second wind and D-shield sustain to basically out-trade him early. However, we can't really do that because we started E, so new game plan. We're going to try to leverage our E to shove the wave as quickly as possible. We're going to tank Kennen's harass with our sustain, and we just want to try to get a crash here. So we use our E, run at the Kennen here. Now we're not necessarily trying to hit the Kennen. If we can, that's fine, right? But what I actually wanted to do was run it into that oncoming creep wave so that they hit me and stack up my E, and then I can hit all the minions with my E to push the wave as fast as possible. So there we go, we managed to crash the wave. Two-wave crash, that's not ideal, but it's the best we can get right now. I was so chunked out that I needed to recall there. So at this point, we want to just let Kennen push the wave back towards us. He has a level lead and a minion wave lead, right? So not only would we lose the trade, but because he's pushing a wave this big into our tower, he's going to be able to crash the wave and then recall and regenerate all the resources he loses in any trades, whereas we would have to be stuck in lane with our lowered health, right? So, at this point, it's a matter of trying to get as much CS as possible without taking too much harass. It's really important that we don't take too much harass here, because if we get really low on health, we won't have options. So here we go for a trade on Kennen, but I messed it up. I went for a Q auto W, when what you're supposed to do versus Kennen is when you jump on him, you want to walk with him without auto-attacking him to first secure your stun, and then you can go for an auto W after you land the stun. So you see right here I do it correctly. I walk with him, no auto attack, land the stun, and then I go for the auto W. I even extend the trade a little bit here. Now, Kennen keeps auto attacking after us, so we're just going to use our short Q cooldown to try to go for a trade. Pop Ghost to try to kill him there. Unfortunately, I didn't see that he had Nullifying Orb, so he actually lives there. But that's fine, we get the crash, we get our Null Magic Mantle, start working towards our Merc Treads, which is a really good rush into Kennen. And then we just let the wave crash into us again, because same situation as the last time. But because he's giving access to the minions to us, right? We want to make sure to try to thin the wave as much as we're allowed to, because the smaller the crash into our tower, the less he can harass us under tower. Which means we take less damage. And again, we'd rather sacrifice CS than take too much damage, because we want a health bar so that we have options, so that we can trade with him, so that our jungler can potentially gank for us. Because if we're sitting under tower at 1 HP, our jungler can't gank for us, we're even diveable, right? So it's better to stay high health than take CS, pretty much. But you do want to take as much CS as possible. So you see here, I'm walking towards minions to try to bait him into throwing Qs to it, so that I can then go for that minion without taking the Q harass. Now we took a little bit of damage there, but trying to go for a trade, but he managed to get out of the E range. See, backstep the Q there. See, just try to make your movements really erratic so that you can dodge the harass as much as you can. Now, right now, we see the enemy jungler bot side. So I was a bit scared before, but now we see him on Dragon, right? So now I can jump on the Kennen. Before I didn't want to, but now we can. So, auto attack a little bit, try to get the grass proc up. At this point, we want to try to crash this next wave coming up, because we don't want Kennen to be able to freeze it. And just getting a clean crash and recall for our Merc Treads is really good. So we jump onto the Ken here, walk with him, land the stun, and just go for a quick trade. And you see, now we're on the other end of it. Kennen shouldn't have let us take that trade, because now we can crash it and recall and regenerate our resources, whereas he's stuck in lane. So we get our Merc Treads, a Longsword. Now, we TP back here because we see that there's some shenanigans going on in the jungle here. So I immediately go over to help. I ping the Kennen there. I ping Danger to try to tell my team that the Kennen is there. I move over to... I see Silas is moving to hop the wall, so I'm coming to cover him on the wall here. And Kennen flashes and surprise! And that's just a kill on the Kennen there. Good stuff, good stuff. Now here, the wave is pushing towards us, so I decided to just let it. Because this is going to deny Kennen a bunch of minions. However, in hindsight, this was probably incorrect. I should have shoved this wave and gotten the gold and then gotten the back off. Because now Kennen has an item lead on us. Which is going to make it really hard to get winning trades on him. Because you see, he's got a Hextech alternator to our longsword right now. So I'm just letting the wave push towards me here. I want to thin it so that Kennen can't crash a huge freaking wave into our tower and harass us. If you can avoid it, you want to avoid the situation where Kennen has a big wave crashing into your tower and then he just gets to free harass you, right? So any opportunity you can get to thin the wave, you want to take. So I'm looking to trade on the Kennen here, looking for an opening. He's just throwing Qs out. I managed to jump onto the Kennen here. However, this is kind of a unfortunate situation. What happens here is that I couldn't land the stun before he got out of range because he was walking away as I was leaping onto him, which let him get just that distance, just a little bit of distance, enough, just enough. Now here I jump onto the Kennen because he used his E to try to force a fight on him here, but unfortunately I just didn't have enough health because of that last trade, and I just drop here. So that was pretty int, and that was pretty bad, right? But I was pretty desperate because if I don't fight him there, then I have to sack the wave. I then have to recall and sack the wave, right? And you know, in true top laner fashion, I decided that I would rather die and lose the wave than just, you know, not die and lose the wave. So you see there, I land the stun. And yeah, we got a bit chunked out, but we went even in the trade at least. If we can crash the wave here, then we're really happy. Because again, then we can regenerate our resources. However, Gwen is looking for a play up here. Kennen doesn't have ult, so we can actually look for a dive here, and he just backs off, which is fine. Use the Demolish proc on the tower before Herald charges. And now, this is actually fantastic. Thank goodness the Gwen showed up with Herald here, because this gets us out of the lane. This gets us out of this horrible, horrible freaking lane. So now we can recall, get our call fields. And I run my way over to the dragon because it is up. And I have my TP to TP top lane if I need to. I have my TP to TP top lane if I need to stop the Kennen from split pushing, if it is what I mean to say, from taking the tower in plates. Here, we managed to get the Nautilus. Now, I decided to go down here because I wanted to catch the Ezreal and then do dragon. I don't have to use my Q, I can just walk on him. He leaps away. I Q on after his E, and we get his flash and his cleanse, and that's really good stuff. Now, Gwen does manage to get the dragon, so that's really good. And she manages to live. That's freaking amazing. I thought I inted there for a second, and I maybe kinda did by going for the Ezreal there. But Gwen manages to live, so it's fine. Walk back in to stun the Xin Zhao, and now Xin Zhao chased us really hard here, and now we get to watch as he gets very sad really quickly, as everybody just collapses onto him. That was a bit of an overchase by the Xin Zhao. So we sell our D-Shield here, get our Divine Sunder, because it's just such a big spike. We can crash the wave here, or not crash the wave, but clear the wave. Now, right now I'm kind of hovering the map looking for a play. Fizz is looking for something on the Silas, and I'm here to punish. He doesn't have his E, so we can just kind of go on him here. I decided to come over here to help the Kennen. No, sorry, help the Sylas from the Kennen. And now I'm standing here to block the Kennen Q. That was all I pretty much needed to do there, was just stand between the Kennen and the Sylas to make sure that Kennen can't land that last Q. So now we run back mid lane here. No one else is here to catch the mid wave. So if I don't catch that wave, then nobody will. So I will just go collect that farm. I'm hovering around the map. Again, no one here is to catch the mid wave. So now I'm slow pushing this wave to give the next wave a chance to get to us. The next enemy minion wave a chance to get to us so that I can farm more safely. Ash shoots out an arrow at the Ezreal, and unfortunately, no such luck. Gwen finds Nautilus in the bush. I'm hovering over here. Maybe I can help. Maybe I need to help. Fizz is coming up. We see that. We see Sylas is a little bit behind the Fizz. So we don't want to fight right now. We want to stall the fight out a bit. Ezreal ease over the wall. Sylas is coming in on the flank, but he's kind of caught out here. I'm looking to see if maybe I can help the disengage. I get ulted. Kennen flashes in. I get chased after by the Xin Zhao and the Nautilus here. I pop my Ghost, bonk with the Divine Sunder to get the healing, and live with 60 health. So we did unfortunately lose 2 in the main team fight. And now they get that mid tower. So nothing else to do mid, right? They're not going to stay. So I'm just going to go to the closest wave that is available, which is bot. Because no one was catching that bot wave, right? And it needed to get pushed out. We can get the dragon here for free, because their Xin Zhao went down. And we see that Kennen was top lane. So there's a fight going on in mid lane here. I can TP in. Fizz flashes the wall. Jump onto the Nautilus. Run past the Nautilus to prevent him from hooking to safety. And we just barely managed to get the Nautilus. Unfortunately, Ashe goes down as well, though. Meanwhile, Sylas gets the Kennen, up there. Now, I consider going onto the Fizz here, but the Fizz is pretty fed, and I don't really want to mess with that at 1 HP. So catch its wave here because no one else is there to get it. Sylas gets a really nice 2 kills in the jungle. And Xin Zhao is for some reason on our Krugs, so I hop to the Hextech gate here to help the Gwen out. Ward hop here to cut the corner. He flashes the stun. I bonk him with the Divine Sunder, and that's all I needed to do apparently. The Gwen manages to finish him off there. Shove the wave out, and we can get a tower here. Good stuff. Now we shove the next wave out here so that it can crash. And also, just to get the cannon wave money. Now we're looking for a play here. Sylas is going in. And we can look for this. Xin Zhao is bot side, so this is a 4v4 at worst. Gwen is closer than Xin Zhao is. I go for my counter-strike, hold it to stall them as long as possible, and then I go for the double stun rather than onto the Ezreal. Because it looked to them like I was maybe looking to jump onto the Ezreal, right? And we managed to pretty much ace them. Well, ace them now because Xin Zhao drops to the Sylas mid. We get the Baron here. Now at this point I decide to go top lane, sorry, because Dragon's spawning and I want to be on the opposite side of the map as Dragon because I have TP, I want to leverage my TP. Pushing Kennen into the side lane is always really good because he's a teamfight champion. He doesn't want to be in the side lane being held there by Split Pusher. And somewhat anticlimactically they FF. And yeah, that's that. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope to see you in the next one.